Something that I talked about last week that I thought was pretty interesting and important is what I think might be one of the biggest and most important issues in America to Americans. And really it's through most of Western Europe and actually maybe the whole world for that matter. And it's immigration. So what do I mean by that? Well, Western Europe and America is having massive inflow of immigration, and other parts of the world have massive outflow of immigration. So it's a big problem no matter where you're at. Recently, in regards to the Russia-Ukraine war, I think it was Mitch McConnell was trying to drum the beat of war, trying to raise more money for Ukraine. And he said it's the single most important issue for Americans that we raise this money to send to Ukraine. And as an American, I can tell you that it's not. Well, certainly not my single most important issue. It's not anywhere even on my top 25. It's not even an issue at all. I would guess it's certainly not the single most important issue for a majority of Americans. Not that I want to speak on behalf of everybody, but I would guess probably a more pressing issue for Americans is the open border. 7 million people have come across the border, almost a record 300,000 people just last month came across the border. Along with it, the Mexican cartels are using it to smuggle people, smuggle drugs, as well as lots of nationals from other countries that may not be so friendly. But I want to get into a little bit more of that. You got the news headlines on your own, right? You can go read that stuff on your own, but let me give you some more context that you won't be getting from this. Now, again, this is my opinion, is probably the single most important issue for most Americans, especially when the number one cause of death in America for 18 to 35-year-olds is fentanyl overdose, which is coming across the southern border. The number one cause of death. Shouldn't that probably be one of our main concerns? Remember how big of a concern the whole COVID pandemic was? And that wasn't our number one cause of death. Shouldn't this be a bigger concern? Well, we should probably think about securing the border. As a matter of fact, every nation thinks about securing the border unless there's a reason not to. So what am I talking about? Let's go through. I pulled up a little video clip here that I want to play, a little audio clip. And let me get this ready. This is Obama. I think it's Hillary Clinton. It's Joe Biden. And let me see who else is on. Well, I'll talk about when we play there. And this is a before and an after. So this is what they said about the need for a border wall before, and what they said after. Here, let's hear from Obama. Here we go.
We'll certainly do some good. It will authorize some badly needed funding for better fences and better security along our borders.
Okay, so there's Obama saying the border wall is needed. He called it the fence. It's certainly needed. We're going to give more money. We certainly need it. And here he is now. Let's hear what he has to say.
Now basically complete. Maybe they'll need a moat. Maybe they want alligators in the moat.
So he's saying he's joking. He's being sarcastic. The fence is complete, and they're still saying it's not enough. Maybe they need a moat now. Maybe we should give them some alligators. Well, you certainly know the fence isn't complete. You certainly know that Trump pushed through building a wall. And as we talked about last week, the Biden administration is selling off the wall rather than building it. We'll come back to that in a little bit. So he's completely gaslighting. Let's hear from Hillary Clinton now.
Secure our borders with technology, personnel, physical barriers if necessary in some places.
So there she is saying we need to secure our border with technology, with fences, whatever we need to do to secure the border. That was then. Now let's hear what she has to say now.
Not build a wall. Instead, we will build an economy where everyone who wants a good job can get one.
So she said, no, now we're not going to build a wall. So flip-flopping. Now let's hear from President Biden when he was Senator Joe Biden. Let's hear what he has to say here.
I voted for a fence. I voted, unlike most Democrats, and some of you won't like it, I voted for 700-mile fence.
So there he is saying, I voted for the fence. I voted for this, and most Democrats don't like me. I voted for 700 miles of fence. Let's go on.
So let me tell you something, folks. People are driving across that border with tons, hear me, tons of everything from byproducts from methamphetamine to cocaine to heroin.
He said people are driving across the border with tons, he repeated that 3 times, tons of products to make methamphetamines, drugs, cocaine, and heroin. I voted for the wall. I voted to put 700 miles up, even though the Democrats don't want it, because tons of drugs are coming across the border.
It's all coming up through corrupt Mexico.
And it's all coming up through Mexico. That was him before, and now here he is now.
Impulse is to hunker down, shut the gates, build walls, exit at this moment is precisely the wrong answer.
Have said to him that they wish that they had built a wall. Do you
I don't
recall
know
President
a
Obama ever
single
saying
one.
that?
Come on.
So, no, he doesn't know a single president that would ever say that. Never mind, he had just recently said that. Now let's hear from Schumer. Hear what he has to say then. Let's hear what he has to say then.
130-mile border fence create a significant barrier to illegal immigration on our southern land border.
Okay. So he was saying we need to build a 630-mile fence, Biden said 700, along our southern land border to prevent illegal immigration. Let's hear what he has to say again then.
The president saying, well, I'll do DACA and Dreamers in return for the wall. He's got it. President Trump.
Okay, so we were going to give him the wall in exchange for having this, and now let's hear what he has to say now.
If you want to open the government, you must abandon the wall.
And there they have him, holding him hostage, saying, Trump, if you want to open up the government, this was at a time when the debt ceiling debate was going down, if you want to open the government, then you have to abandon the wall. The flip-flop, Obama, Hillary, Biden, Schumer, all were pro-wall, and now they're all against it. What happened? What happened? Could it be that it's because Trump wanted a wall that they just automatically can't like the wall? Now, we know that there's massive problems caused from this, and the exact problems we're suffering are the exact problems they warned would happen. What did Biden say? We're having a massive inflow of drugs across our southern border. Yes, that's exactly what we're happening. That's exactly what we're having. We have states in the north, New York, Michigan, San Francisco, we need more people across the border, but now that they're getting up to New York or getting up to Colorado, they don't want it anymore. Mayor Eric Adams, I played a clip from him a while ago, he's saying, we're being overrun, there's no hope, there's nothing we can do. Well, certainly, you could close the border. Mayor Eric Adams of New York City actually went down to Latin America to try to discourage migrants from coming to New York City. The Democratic New York governor, Kathy Hochul, on Sunday called on Congress to limit who crosses the border, saying it's too open right now. She said, quote, people coming from all over the world are finding their way through simply saying they need asylum, and the majority of them seem to be ending up in the streets of New York, and that's a real problem. 125,000 newly arrived individuals, and we are being overtaxed. In Denver, Colorado, another blue state, Denver recently asked Texas border officials to hand out flyers discouraging migrants from seeking shelter in the sanctuary city, citing exhausted resources because 21,000 migrants have relocated to Denver. Now, we also saw reports this week, Border Patrol agents apprehended more than 24,000 migrants. This is what they apprehended, not what they got, not that got through. They apprehended 24,000 migrants from the People's Republic of China. These are not Venezuelan, Argentinian like you've been led to believe. No, this is people from the Middle East, people from Africa, and yes, 24,000 people from the People's Republic of China. More than 11,000 just since June alone.